What's up, guys? It's officially been 30 days since I had ChatGPT train me. Now, during this challenge, I found it very beneficial to use it because I didn't have to think about what I was going to do the very next day. All I had to do was just say, ChatGPT, spit out day number 2, spit out day number 3, or add this instead of that. And it was very beneficial because I didn't have to think. That's one of the things that I loved that I got to do as a personal trainer was design programs for people. Just made it to where they didn't have to think at all, and I was the brain behind it. And all they had to do was just do it, and they got the results that they wanted. Now, I will say the downside of having ChatGPT as my trainer is that it wasn't there with me. It wasn't as personable. There wasn't someone with me that if I was doing the movement wrong, that they could correct me. It would have cues of saying, hey, you're doing RDLs. Make sure you hinge at the hips. Make sure you keep the bar as close to you as possible. Or if I was doing front squats, it would say, elevate your heels to have a more quad focused uh, squat. So it's different things that it would give me, but if I anywhere in the movement, if something was wrong, then it wouldn't be able to correct me right then and there. So that was the only downside, but I did love, like I said, having it just spit out every single day that I needed and then just updating it. If I said, hey, I got 100 pounds on bench, next week it's going to say do 105 or do 100 pounds again, but for 15 reps instead of 12. So it was helping me progressive overload. Now, it did take me a little bit to get to that point of having ChatGPT spit out what I wanted, so that is the downside, is that I had to talk to it and say, hey, I like these exercises. I don't like these exercises. I feel activation in my chest when I do this versus this. And then having to make it spit out to some of the equipment that I had. If I didn't have a certain equipment, I would say, hey, I don't have this. What is a substitute for this? So again, something that you don't really get from ChatGPT, but it was very cool. I did notice growth in the 30 days, and it's actually kind of cool. So I took down my stats beforehand. So this was April 20th. My right quad was 21 and a quarter inches. My left was 21 and a quarter as well. My left bicep was 13 and a quarter. Right bicep 13 and a quarter. My back was 15 and 3/4, and my chest was 37 inches. Now, that was before I started doing this, before allowing ChatGPT to do it. But I took my measurements May 21st, and my left bicep was 14 inches, so it gained 3/4. My right bicep gained half an inch. So not that much growth in my right bicep, but I am starting to notice that my left bicep is bigger. So then I probably need to start my movements with that right bicep. Maybe do some more isolation things to where my left bicep doesn't just take control over it right away. My right quad was 22 inches, and then my left quad was the same, 22 inches. So they both gained 3/4 of an inch, which is, I think, pretty good for 30 days. My chest was 38 and a quarter, so it gained 1 inch and a quarter, an inch and a quarter. So I think that's really good. Chest is my weak point, so it was very beneficial. I would say that I've tried to train chest very intensely, but when you have something that it's not your good part, or it's not the muscle that you love to hit, then it's a little harder to go intense. But kind of filming or having saying, this is what it wants me to do. This is my RPE. This is my rep range. And it would give me like hints like, hey, if you got 12, go up 5 pounds and just knock out 12 again. Stay with it or increase a little bit more. So yeah, it's something that I could do internally and just say, hey, that was easy. But when you're not being told what to do, if you don't have someone there training with you, like a training partner or a personal trainer, then it's kind of hard to push yourself, especially when you've been doing it for a long time. So yeah, saw good growth there. My back beforehand was 15 and 3/4. When I measured it, it was 17 and a half. So a lot of growth there as well. So I'm really impressed. Back is my favorite thing to hit personally, because there's more movements I can do for it, and I can isolate it and do all these cool things with it. And it's just, I don't know, the back is just so cool, the way you can sculpt it and everything. Pretty good growth overall. It was 5.5 inches that were added throughout, like if you subtracted all my previous measurements. So I think that's pretty cool. Do I recommend ChatGPT? If you're experienced, then yes, because you kind of know what to do already. You've been doing it for a while and it's free. If you are beginning, I would say no. Either one, figure it out, have someone train with you, hire a personal trainer, just so they can be there with you and kind of show you the different movements, show you what you might be doing wrong, or give you cues right then and there, rather than you having to plug it into ChatGPT and say, hey, this worked, this didn't work. What can I do next time? If you have someone there, then it's boom, do this, or hey, uh, I can tell there's an imbalance, so let's focus on this right here, and then we can go to that part. Kind of like what I like to do when I was personal training people is if they were new to the gym, I just had them on machines. I said, hey, let's build up that baseline strength, and then we'll focus on the free weights. Because if you start at the free weights, you're stabilizing muscles. They're not going to be good. It's going to be hard for them. They're going to lift with improper form, which can lead to an injury, which that is not what we want. So for sure, start with the personal trainer first, or start with a friend that has been training just to give you that guidance, and I think it'll be good. How am I going to use ChatGPT from here on out? I want to say that right now I am bulking to 180 pounds. Currently, I am 158, 159, depends on the day, but in August, I plan on being 180 pounds. Now, what I'm doing is having ChatGPT construct me a meal plan, giving my calories every single day, every single meal, measuring things out in grams with the grocery list, and then a workout regimen on top of that. And then we'll see what happens in December. But on May 26th, road to 180 pounds officially going to begin. I'm going to dial in, and this is the heaviest that I've ever been in my life. Even right now, I am the heaviest that I've ever been. Normally, I'm around 140, 145, but in the 150s, it's abnormal for me. So I've already gained weight, gained size. So now I'm going to build on top of this, have a good idea of how to structure it, even though ChatGPT has made it for me. But we'll see what happens in August. I'll keep all updated. I'm going to try to have a video out every week, every other week, but stay tuned. As always, like the video, subscribe, comment. If you want any personal training, let me know. Follow my Instagram, JimmyJohns_fitness. That's GYMMYJOHNS_fitness. And I am a ambassador for Raw Nutrition. So use my code, save you some money. Raw Nutrition, code Jimmy Johns, GYMMJOHNS. And keep up with the journey. Thanks.